What's up, party people and magic makers? Destiny here on this magical Monday, and I wanted to talk to you about commitment. More specifically, if the commitments that you currently have are serving you. So, first of all, let's talk about commitments in general, right? What are you actually committed to? So, I've got a story for you. You're probably not surprised. All right, so about 7 or 8 years ago, my husband was going through this massive surgery, and we were hanging out down in Denver. We were there for about like 3 or 4 weeks for follow ups and stuff like that. And one of my friends reached out to me to say, hey, let's go out somewhere. Let's go hang out, get you away from that situation. Let's go have a really nice dinner, and let's go and just hang, which was absolutely lovely, right? So here we are. We go and we eat dinner. And then she's like, all right, now we're going to go to this next place. And I was like, next place? What the heck? I wasn't prepared for that, but okay. And she starts driving. And we're talking while we're driving, and I'm not really paying attention to where we are per se. And finally, we like kind of hit this like trafficy area in this little town. And I stop and, no longer conversing. I start looking around and I'm like, where are we? And she's like, are you serious? You don't know? And I'm like, I don't what I don't know what this is. Like, no. And then she asked, are you stupid? And I was just like, what the hell? Right? Like, what the hell? Why would that be the where she went? And I just looked at her and I'm like, no, I've never been stupid. I don't know where the we are. I'm not sure how that makes me stupid. And she goes, look around. And I'm like, I've never been here. That's not helpful. I was like, where are we? And she was like, look at the sign that's coming up. And we had to wait quite a while to get to the sign that's coming up. And it said Red Rocks. And I was like, that doesn't help. And she's like, how do you not know what Red Rocks is? I'm like, why would I know what Red Rocks is? I grew up in Hawaii. Why would I know this? Like, why would that be the top of mind, the first thing that comes to my head? And she was like, oh, I guess I never thought about that because she's a native Coloradan, right? And so before we left, like we had to go up this hill, park, climb up another hill, go into like it was an amazing concert. It was super awesome. Like definitely a spot to go and check out, but not necessarily a spot that I would assume everybody knows about. And so we had to have this conversation because I was like, that's just not cool. The jump to was, are you stupid? Right? And so I was like, why was that the jump? And she was like telling me that that's just what kind of came to her mind, and she just said it, no filter, da da da. I was like, okay. But for a couple of weeks after, like that phrase, like I don't know if this has ever happened to you. Give me a like, a thumbs up if you this has happened for you. Where like somebody you hear somebody's voice over and over with like a phrase or something that like plays in your head, and that's what was playing in my head for quite some time afterwards, just going like, are you stupid? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? And I was like, why is that what I was committed to? I was committed to a couple of things in that situation. One, allowing that voice to play in my head, right? And then two, believing that voice. Because I was just like, is this stupid? Am I stupid? Right? Like, hang on. Like I knew that I wasn't, but yet this was kind of like playing on a childhood thing that I could kind of feel, right? And so these are the kind of things, it's really quick, it's really easy. We hear it from other people, other sources, the media, the news. We hear it from strangers passing by, but like it just triggers something in us that makes us feel less than, right? Or worthless. And we believe it. That's being committed to something. Okay. But what if it doesn't serve us? Obviously, there are some things that we're going to be committed to that we're going to be like, wait a minute. I don't know that this is really the thing that I want to be committed to anymore. It's not turning out the way that I thought it was going to. And for some, we tend to push and shove and force the issue, right? Instead of just going, wait, hang on. Wait a minute. I don't know if this is what I want to do. Right? Do I have to finish this out? Could I renegotiate things? Could I switch things up a bit? Right? And instead of doing that, we put our heads down and we try to bull our way through. Okay? So we have to stop and ask, what are we committed to? Right? And sometimes we are committed to proving that little voice wrong, which is okay up to a certain point until that takes over and all of a sudden we're doing things we don't really want to do, right? But how can we switch that? How can we flip that? Right? First things first, you got to figure out, is that little voice, is it right? Is it true? Is it accurate? Okay? Or is there a little piece that feels like it is, but the rest is like, nah, no, it's not. You got to really sit down and take the time to ask yourself, like, is this true? Okay? Not does it feel true, not what if it is true, but is it true, right? What are there pieces and parts of it that are true? And once you figure out how much is true, so let's say you have that I am stupid phrase for me, okay, is 100%. Now, how much of it is true? And I was like, well, I have done some pretty stupid things, but in the grand scheme of it, I'd say 15% is actually accurate, right? Why am I going to allow that 15% to take over everything? No, no, no. That in and of itself, just ranking it on a scale is very helpful. But then take a look at that 15%. Okay? If there's even a little tiny 15%, it's that little hook that keeps yanking you back, yanking you back, yanking you back into doing things you don't want to do. Clear that. Get that out of your way. So those thoughts and those phrases and those things that keep popping up in your mind, those memories from a long time ago that keep haunting you, clear it out of the way so that you don't have to hold on to it anymore, right? There's an energetic hook that is just yanking, right? And anytime you do something, it's like, hang on. Anytime you do, oh, wait a minute, right? And it starts, that's the seed planted for self-sabotage. Okay? Something that's 15% is what keeps yanking you back for the rest of your life. Get pissed and get mad at that because it doesn't have to be that way, right? So once you figure out what these voices are saying in your head over and over and over again, are they true? Is it true? How much of it is true? And rank it on a scale 0 to 100% truth, right? And really look at your entire life, as much of it as you can, and determine how much of the 100% is it accurate, okay? And then from there, clear that out of the way. You don't need to hold on to it anymore. It's complete and utter bullshit. It's someone else inflicting their bullshit beliefs on you. And because it was kind of sort of similar to yours, you're like, okay, yeah, you don't have to okay. You can let it go. All right. You can just say, it's not true. And boom, shift, right? And clear that out of the way so that you can be who you are meant to be, doing what you are meant to do, and not being guided by force or pushing or shoving, because that's exhausting. And we don't need more exhausting people in the world. We need people who are having fun, who are passionate about what they're doing, taking others with them, and having a blast. And it's easy because life is supposed to be easy, but we just don't believe that bullshit because somebody else told us it wasn't. All right. So really take a look at what you're committed to and if it's serving you. And if it's not, get it out of your way. You don't need to hold on to it. All right. Cool. So until next week. Hey, by the way, if you have a topic you'd like me to discuss, pop it in the comments below. I'll talk about it. I had a bunch of people do that off of Instagram, and that's how some of these videos got created. So I'd love to hear from you. All right. So until next week, peace.